Hello ladies and gentlemen, let's see how we can play Chess960 light chess today. Whether or not it will be a complete disaster, or maybe we find a good move or two. Okay, waiting for someone to accept the challenge. Hopefully this won't take that much time, but maybe this is a time when there are not that many people playing. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. Based on the position of all the pieces. Wait a minute. Sound, no. Let's. Okay. So I was saying, based on the piece on the back rank, I probably want to castle short. It seems like a good idea. I'm not sure what this guy is doing. I'm gonna play knight f6 and develop quite normal way. Okay, castle, well, I could play b6, which I'm probably gonna do, yeah, so that take an eye on g2. Okay, that just loses a pawn. Well, if I take it, then probably d3 and I lose the e5 pawn, so that probably is a decent move. I think I'm just gonna castle. Sure, why not? What to do now then? I'd like to play maybe bishop e7, but then the pawn on that square e5 gets undefended, so maybe knight c6 first, and then bishop e7. Well, bishop e7 now seems like an idea to attack the knight on a3. Okay, so he goes there. I may go to c5, it's a bit... well, it's a bit risky maybe. In some situations it might get low on squares, especially if I play d6. But I may go for d5 instead. However, before I do that, I somehow have to protect the e5 pawn, because the knight, the bishop and queen would attack the pawn if d5, e takes d5. But now when he blocked the diagonal for the bishop, now I think I can play d5 without that much of a hassle. Sure, why not? This almost seems like a position from a normal chess game now, except of course the bishops that my opponent has are in a weird starting squares, and of course my bishop on a8 is also a bit out of place for a normal chess game, but otherwise it's a normalish looking position. And of course knight on h3 is kind of weird, but after the takes, well, the knight on h3 does cover the f4 square, so if it was here, then I might go for f4 with my knight. That's interesting move. I think I have to develop my bishop a bit. Maybe go to a6. Put some pressure on the d3 pawn. Okay, that move. Well, what to do now? Maybe the e7. I don't want to give my bishop just yet for the knight. I value the bishop pair more. It does get a bit in the way of the queen, but guess I have to accept it for now. So it returns my rook. I will play it to d8 so that well, I messed up a bit. I should have of course played f5, and the pawn would threaten both the knight and the bishop. Let's see what he does. So okay. But this does not actually help him at all, because after this I just play f5 again, and then the bishop is... I mean, those pieces get forked again. There's no safe square for the bishop. So okay. Of course, playing the f5 instead of rook d8 was much better. Okay, he wants to do that, but now knight db4, and I threaten fork here, and I also threaten these guys, so I should be close to winning, I think. Maybe I have to drink some water at this time. Now, should I take on d3 first with knight, and all then take the knight with the pawn? I think so. I think that's much stronger alternative. But of course, f takes e4 was good too, I think. So no problem there. Now he... well, if I take the rook now, I think that's not good, because he just then moves the knight, and my knight cannot move, so I think this first is better. And now that he took there, now I can take the rook. Okay, he still wants to play. Well, bishop here. Want to next play my D rook. I mean this rook here, and now might run a bit low on squares. There's still one square left for the queen, but and I can't take there yet, but probably should do this, threaten to take here, and then take with the f rook, f2. And of course taking on c6 doesn't really matter, I just take back with the queen. Okay, that doesn't really matter that much. I wonder if I just take, no, I just take the pawn, I think, and threaten the rook. But I guess now rook f1. Really? No rook f1, eh? Fair enough, now I take on h3. And I should have a good game. Pretty much winning. I mean, so much ahead in material, so my opponent doesn't have much here. Okay, now I noticed that I have less than 5 minutes on the clock. I didn't actually look at the clock situation before now. And I think this, but the bishop still covers g2, so nothing that amazing will happen just yet. Okay, that's an interesting check. Where to go with the king? If king g7, then takes and takes here with the bishop, I guess. But king f8 seems more open. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go to g7 still. See what happens. It's a bit of annoying because he can get a check in. But of course after the check, I mean takes here, bishop takes here, check. King goes maybe g8, then I'm threatening mate on g2, which my opponent cannot stop, so there's that. Okay, trying to complicate things. Which might be a good idea. This might get tricky, but let's see what happens. If I have time, I play bishop to... Okay, he does that. Well, that might... Wonder if I can still allow that check to happen. I think so. Because after this... I mean... Still ought to be doing quite well. The threat of the discard check should make it very, very difficult for my opponent. Maybe now he can actually take on e5 with the bishop first, and then knight takes, queen takes. Well, if that happens, I mean bishop takes e5, knight takes e5, queen takes e5, check, queen takes e5, rook takes e5, and then I just play rook g2 check, and if king f1 there, then rook c f2 is mate, and if the king goes to h1 instead, then rook takes h2 is mate, because the g1 is covered with the bishop. So this should be excellent. For me, that is. I don't see good moves for my opponent. Who seems to take up most of his time. His or her, not sure. Obviously. So okay, will Panic Monster lose some time? Use all of the time, and we shall see. 45 seconds still left on the clock. Okay, that move, but now knight takes. Gonna take a sip of water here. Okay, rook takes instead. Well, that does allow the king to escape a bit, I think, from that square, and actually I'm not sure what happens here. That actually works quite well for him, unless I do something else. I mean, rook g2 check does not look so great here, but maybe I do this instead and win a whole rook. Though one idea might be to play... Okay, that was possible. Wow. Did not anticipate that. And... what to do now? Thinking rook b2 perhaps? Or maybe just king h6. There's no good checks for him, so I think this is the thing I should do. Most likely gonna win on time. Nope, still hangs on for the moment. But 1.1 second left on the clock, so... I wonder... I mean, queen takes rook should be winning like so. Okay, thanks for watching, and until next time, bye bye.